So, Bukola, what's the one thing you wish your first manager had done differently?
Before I answer that question, Nick, do you realize we had the first same manager? Where we've come a long way.
We have come a long way. That seems like a lifetime ago.
Did that happen?
Yeah. But did we have the same manager?
Okay, not directly, but we
Yeah.
had two managers who were managing us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like it was same experience. But if I look back to that time, the one thing I would have said they could have done differently was give both of us the same opportunities, the same exposure, right? And not, I kind of felt like one of the managers was, had like a,
fave.
Yeah. For lack of, I won't say who the fave was.
No, say it.
So I kind of felt that the manager had like
favored me.
Bukola.
That manager favored Bukola over me.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
Let's just say it out the way it is.
Yeah.
I actually felt so. And in hindsight, I kind of feel like she made some judgments about daycares, which weren't based on anything, in my opinion. It was just how she felt.
Poor me.
How she felt. So I think that's something that I felt she could have done differently.
100%.
Yeah.
It felt like that particular manager tried to pit us against each other.
Yes.
Like, even made like all this smart comments about, our quality of work, and, it was just unnecessary. Yeah. And I would say that's something managers shouldn't do, like comparing. And like just having favorites, not based on work output or quality of work. But when we talked about, have we talked about manager bias?
No, we haven't. But I think we should. We should talk about it.
We must talk about manager bias.
Yes.
So in my opinion, this manager had a halo effect toward Bukola.
I was only going to say that.
Yeah, and she also had a what's this thing? Like likeness.
Similar to me.
Yeah, similar to me bias.
I live and breathe this every day because I do performance management.
Exactly. And I love performance management, so I know this.
Yeah.
She had a similar to me bias toward Bukola.
Yes. In fact, it was more that it was that was actually it.
Yes. It wasn't really it was it. She could just relate with Bukola better than she could me. And her favoritism or preference wasn't necessarily quality of work or type of work. It was just that.
Yes, it was just
we
that.
We definitely should talk about manager bias.
Yes, we should.
And it just came to us. It's just work. We're trying not to take it too seriously.
But really, it is your career and you need to take ownership of it.
Hey Dickens.
Hey Bukola.
I love your outfit.
Thank you.
The color, your hair color, the dress.
Thank you. I'm feeling like I'm 7 again or something.
I was going to think I'm a Barbie girl.
That's what I'm like. What's all this pink? I'm not even a pink girl.
I'm not wearing pink.
You are wearing like pink.
Oh, tell me.
Look at us.
Hey guys.
Yapping. I like your hair. I like your sister loss. No. Micro loss. Okay.
But I switched it up a bit. You noticed?
Yeah, I noticed. It's quite pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey guys, we didn't forget you. We weren't just yapping. Welcome to the episode for today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any nice thing, interesting thing happened? You want to share?
An interesting thing? No, I don't. Like my days have just been chill. Not really. I've had to be part of some tough things happening at work or whatever. But I guess it's just that's our life in HR.
Yeah.
Today we were complaining about the weather being gloomy again. I guess it's not unusual with spring or whatever.
Yeah.
And I made a comment. I said, well, this weather is just like life. You're not always going to have sunny days. And it's the same thing in HR. In HR, you're not always going to have sunny days. And we're not messengers of doom. I know sometimes we come here and we're like, oh, tough week. We did it. But it comes with the job.
Yeah.
In HR, hardly would you have a week go by without some problematic or, tough thing happening. So I guess that, yeah.
You're right. The interesting thing that comes to mind I can share has to do with work, but it was just some, I'll say seeing, we've seen everything AI, well, not everything, but we've seen a lot of things that AI can do. And I was, I work, well, my team is going through, we're doing a project where I'm involved, automating one of our processes. And then we had like a demo with the team who is helping us develop that process or the automation. And, like the click of a button, the guy just, clicked, run,
Wow.
run, and literally run. He ran the process in less than a few minutes. I was just looking. I was like, what?
Oh my days.
I was blown. I wasn't just blown, but I was like, this is so close to home. Like, this is real.
Yeah.
So that actually got me, I'll say in order,
God trying her feelings.
My feelings the whole week.
Am I losing my job?
And I know we talked about this before, but seeing that happen, like literally, it felt on me like, okay, now this is really getting closer to home and all that. But it was that kind of week anyway. Yeah, it was that kind of week.
No, AI is getting realer and realer. I'm sure all of you saw the whole headshot frenzy.
Yes.
And it's just getting realer and realer because you're asking yourself, okay, why do I want to go to a professional photographer if AI is going to? But it's not there yet. It's not there yet.
You see, I tried I didn't look like myself. I'm like, no.
I look more like my sister, which was scary because it's like, why am I looking like my sister? I sent my picture. Anyway, before we yap away, today, like we said last week, we've moved into a new theme or series, just talking about like a new manager playbook.
Yeah.
Just sort of hand-holding new managers and even like old managers or managers who have been in the game.
Yeah.
Just reminding you of certain things, helping you rediscover yourself as a manager, manage better, develop yourself as much as you develop people, and things like that. And today we're going to talk about something we've titled Welcome to the Jungle.
Yes, welcome.
Your first 90 days as a manager.
Yes. I love that. It's truly a jungle, actually.
It is a concrete jungle where dreams are made. Hey!
Dickens, what happened? I know that song.
You don't know that song?
You don't know that song?
No. Come on.
I don't.
So welcome to the concrete jungle called, the manager space. So today we're going to talk about your first 90 days as a manager.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Yep. Am I going first?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I think on my notes here, one of the things that I'll start off with would be the emotional whiplash of leadership. And I think we kind of touched on this last week when we shared our own stories when we first became managers and all that. And the first thing I would even say, like that emotional piece of 1 minute you're a colleague, next year the manager, you're the team lead and all of that. That comes with definitely a rush of emotions. It's exciting, nerve-wracking, and you just begin to doubt yourself. You're like, can I do this? How are they going to receive me and all that? But that comes, in
the eye of the employee, you become part of them.
Them, exactly.
Yes. You're no more part of
us.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Like, and when you have to, like, when you go for those leadership meetings and then you come back and say, oh, like, this is the direction, and they're not looking at you like, hey, it's not me that made decisions together now. You all made decisions together. Don't come here and now tell us
we're together. We're not together.
So yes, that's true. Just remember, I have to share this joke. I remember really when when I just one of the time I started leading team and I would be invited to a meeting with other leaders there, and then I come back with my notes and everything, and you can see the face of everyone on the team like almost looking like it's like something is going to happen, and the fear on the face will tell whether the meeting went well or not. And they're all waiting for you to come and tell them what happened. So, anyways, you're also dealing with how to balance authority and being approachable or staying approachable. How to just want to continue to remain authentic, like how they experienced you before as a team member. You don't want to just should I put up a different attitude now that I'm a manager? Should I work differently? Should I dress differently? All of a sudden, all of those kind of things just coming up and all that, and just the whole thing around the mental shift and emotional shift from focusing on your personal success or the things you've done that has earned you your credibility, and then now having to share that, actually sharing it with the team, because it's not no longer, oh, Bukola did that. It's not like, oh, the team did it, and you also don't want, you want to give credit to who credit is due. Even if you did it, it's like the team did it,
right,
like having to share that, like, all of that.
Yeah. So what did you call it? The whiplash? What?
Yeah, emotional whiplash.
Emotional
whiplash.
It is a whiplash.
Yeah.
Okay. The second point we have here is common first-time managers' mistakes. Common first-time manager mistakes.
Yeah.
The number one point here is trying to be everyone's best friend. I'm just talking about why this backfires and makes discipline harder.
Yeah.
We've talked about it so many times on this podcast. Whether you're a manager or a peer or whatever, you don't go into a work relationship hoping to find besties. As a manager, it's even more sort of apparent or more imperative that you don't think that way. There's a popular saying, if I wanted to make everybody happy, I'll be an ice cream man or something like that.
An ice cream man is all still get it.
You listen, they'll tell you, oh, you want to give me diabetes or whatever.
Exactly.
So don't go into one of the mistakes first-time managers make is they want to just be the jolly good fellow, everybody's best friend. They don't want to step on anyone's toes. They don't want to make any tough decision. They just want to, in when we talk about performance biases or manager biases, I think it's more performance. There's this thing around, is central tendency.
Yes, central tendency. Yes. You rate everyone the same. Like, no, I don't want to. I'm not the bad guy here. Everybody collect it.
Because you don't want them to see you as a bad guy. You want to be in everybody's good books, everybody's best friend. Don't do that. As a new manager, you have to learn to make tough decisions. You have to be objective. If someone is a slacker and a laggard, you have to state it. There's no sugarcoating that. There is no central tendency that in terms of just give him, let my people go pass mark 50%. At least he didn't fail or she didn't fail. So trying to be everybody's best friend is a mistake new managers make that you shouldn't. The second is micromanaging out of fear that things will fall apart. Is also a mistake new managers make, right? They carry all the workload. Their team members are off work at 5 and they're there till 11 p.m.
I've been a culprit.
Yeah, like she said, she has. It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do your team members any good. There is a reason why teamwork is the dream work. It's because you're able to delegate tasks and you're not doing all the heavy lifting. Let me put it that way. People are lifting those other pieces and then it comes together as a whole. We've talked about this a lot on this podcast. Micromanaging is wrong. Micromanaging it rarely has upsides to it. Like we've said before, if someone isn't performing, the solution is not micromanaging. There are other performance management initiatives that can be rolled out. So as a new manager, try not to fall into the trap of micromanaging people or doing all the work yourself. The third is avoiding difficult conversations because you don't want to be the bad guy. We sort of talked about this when we talked about the first one, trying to be everybody's best friend. As a manager, one of the things that you would have to do is have tough conversations.
You can't run away from it. Let's just even say, you can't. If you're a leader managing a team, you would have tough conversations. Even some tough ones as maybe having to let someone go. You would have tough ones.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Even if you don't go as extreme as having to let someone go, even just giving feedback. Maybe someone is always tardy or someone is not performing. Having, and again, I know I've said this so many times, we've also touched on this, sandwiching feedback that people then lose the essence of feedback. Okay, is this positive or negative feedback? Because it's so sandwiched. So as a new manager, sometimes you just have to toughen yourself up and have that tough skin. I'm going to, no matter how uncomfortable it makes me feel, I'm going to have to give people tough feedback. I'm going to have to make tough decisions. Sometimes you would have to let people go as a manager in collaboration with HR, not because the people are poor performers, but because sometimes organizations go through headcount cuts. Sometimes downsizing, right sizing, and you would have to make those tough calls, like deciding who the people are.
Yes. Because sometimes it's on you to look at your team and really say, which role do you think? It's not your leader that will make that decision. It's like everyone go and come back and tell us.
Yes. Yes. So you have to make those decisions. You would have to have the conversations with the employees and HR and whatnot. It sucks. It sucks. Absolutely.
It does.
But just learning that. The last point here is, or the penultimate point is, thinking you need to prove yourself by making big changes too quickly. A lot of people fall into this. They either inherit a team or grow their team or whatever, and they just feel like, I need to show my impact by making big changes quickly. You haven't even learned the team. You haven't understood people and what they do. You haven't really processed what the challenges are, and you just think like, I already know what to do. We just have to move this person here. We just have to reallocate resources. This person doesn't know what they're doing, so let's move them to you just start making decisions without properly assessing and analyzing the issue. Don't fall into that trap. A lot of times management breathes down to say, oh, you need to make this change, you need to let that person go. You have to keep them, put them at arm's length and say, just give me time to assess the situation. Give me time to really assess the situation. If I was just here to make all these big changes, you should have made it before I came, right?
True.
So you have to give me time to really understand what I'm doing.
I love it. That's so true, man.
And then I can make changes gradually. And that again is a difficult decision, or rather a difficult conversation you have to have, but this time with management managing up. Very quickly, the last point I have here is not setting boundaries. When does being available turn into burnout? New managers fall into the trap of not setting boundaries. Every meeting is fine, add me, I'll join, I will be there. Do you have a minute? I have a minute. You just want to be available. You're not setting boundaries. So when does being available turn into burnout? Because you then realize that you haven't done anything. You've just been in meetings, having touch-ins, having 1 minute there, 5 minutes there, and you haven't done anything like actually productive. And then you are burnt out at the end of the day. You are, what's the word? You are fagged out.
Fagged out.
You are fagged out. You are knackered. So as a new manager, please do not fall into this pit, this trap, where you feel like you need to be available. No. You have to learn how to manage your calendar and your schedule. Block out time, focus time, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, no meetings, right? You can block out your calendar. The first 1 hour of the day, it's not for meetings. You want to sit down and, strategize and whatnot. So learning how to, your calendar management, your schedule management is really key. And, sometimes maybe even have a day for those check-ins and all those things. Maybe Wednesdays is your open day.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Open day where anybody can go into your calendar, put in meetings, blah, blah, blah. It just helps you manage your schedule better. It helps you be productive by doing the work you're supposed to do. But everybody knows that, managers' availability days for, random meetings or whatnot is Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. So try not to fall into that trap, because if you do, you will burn out, you'll be less effective, and at the end of the day, you just hate yourself.